Hi and welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Lorena. So today I'm going to be doing the Try a Chapter book tag. I'm trying to find the original so I can link it. If I can, I'll link to some other people's videos I've seen of this. So essentially I'm going to try a chapter of a couple of books to see which one I want to read next. By the time this is up, already on my channel will be a 24-hour reading vlog. So I just finished The Islanders and Passengers, which I really enjoyed both of them, and I genuinely don't know what to read next. So this is like a couple of days later. I have no idea what I want to read next. I want to pick a book off of my spring TBR because I'm going to be reading The Stand in April, starting April 12th. So that's a big chunky book. It's been split into, it's part of, on Instagram, Horror24 are hosting it, and it's going to be split obviously across 24 days into different sections, but I know I'm not going to read as much other books, which is fine because it's a huge book, but I want to get a couple books off my spring TBR. I already have ticked one off. Yeah, and I don't know what I want to read. I've decided that I'm going to choose between the two classics on my TBR, and that is Rebecca and Pride and Prejudice, because I find that classics, I tend to take a little bit longer reading them, so I'd quite like to get one of them out the way, but I don't know which one I want to read. So I mean, I think everyone pretty much knows the premise of both of these, but Pride and Prejudice was written in the 1800s. Main characters are Lizzie Bennet and Mr. Darcy, like the most famous romance couple, and their romance story. So yes, I think it'll be really fun. I've not read any Jane Austen. I've attempted it years ago and I just didn't get through it, but I wasn't really into classics then, so that's why I want to give it a go. And then the other one is Rebecca. This was written in like the 1930s, so it's not classed as the modern classics. I think it's from the 1950s, so it's still a classic, but it's a lot newer than Jane Austen, and Rebecca is the wife of this man. I don't know what his name is, I don't know the character's name, but Rebecca is the dead wife, and he gets remarried, and I don't think you ever find out what the new wife's name is. However, Rebecca seems to influence everything throughout, I think, the household, the other characters, and yeah, I think it's set in the south of France, which, you know, be nice, warm. It's warm weather. We're having actually a few days of quite warm weather, so I think it'd be really fun to read. So yes, I'm going to try a chapter of each, and then hopefully I'll be able to decide which one I want to read. I'm going to start with Pride and Prejudice as my first one, and yes, let's see how we get on. I didn't realise it was so short. Then the first one, you have Mrs. Bennet and Mr. Bennet, and they are speaking about a arrival of Mr. Bingley, who's going to be this new young, you know, man who's come to like stay in this like house nearby. Obviously has some money, and she's obviously wanting to marry off her daughters because they have 5, and she's speaking about it. I have seen like several adaptations, so I do know like the general story, and yes, she does seem quite funny, Mrs. Bennet. I do think I have heard that, you know, Jane Austen's writing is quite funny. Like so I did really enjoy that first chapter, so I think I will actually enjoy reading this. But yes, I'm going to give a go now at reading a chapter from Rebecca and seeing if I enjoy it. I wonder if it's short as well. Yeah, it's about the same length actually as Pride and Prejudice, so it shouldn't take me too long to read, and then I can decide. Difference with this is I've never seen any of the adaptations, so I actually don't really know the story. So yeah. Finished reading that chapter of Rebecca. Like I said, it's about the same length as the first chapter of Pride and Prejudice. It's quite a good chapter. It was about a dream that she was having. I'm assuming this is the new wife, and it's speaking about like the house and how things, weren't going to be the same anymore. It's giving me thriller vibes. I feel like it might be a little bit of a thriller actually. Yes, it's giving me a little bit of thriller, mysterious vibes. But yes, I feel like with so hard. Pride and Prejudice, you're introduced to a couple of characters already and you get a sense of who they are, whereas this first chapter is just a dream. So I don't really have a sense of the characters of the book, an exact location, but it does leave that mysterious element at the end. Ooh. They're both about the same-ish length. I don't know why these Penguin Classics always fool you into thinking it's not that big, but actually, do you mean they're almost the same size? They're almost the same amount of pages, sorry, not the same size. I am going to go with Pride and Prejudice because I have recently been reading like murder mystery thrillers, quite a few, so I think this will be good because it's like a romance. Also, like I said, I've got more of a sense of what the characters are like in this, whereas this at the moment I'm intrigued, but I don't really know anything more than what I know in the back. Yes, I think I'm going to give Jane Austen a try. Also, I don't know why, but she gives me like kind of spring vibes, and like it's really nice spring weather. So I'm going to go with this. Hopefully I enjoy it and I get on with Jane Austen's writing much better this time. Not like when I picked up, like I don't know, like it was more than 10 years ago. It's a long time ago. So yes, thank you for watching this. Like I said, I'll leave links to other people's try a chapter. This was really fun. I liked actually instead of just picking up a book, actually reading a little bit to see if I'm in the mood for it. So I might do one of these again with different books in the future. I'm not just sure what I want to read. So yes, thank you for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!